What's up, Team Happy and Fit? Thanks for joining us today. It is Tuesday, and it's our weekly team call. Not only do I love it to share best practices, hear from other coaches, but I just love being with you and love checking in with you. I love just seeing you, and just you guys are all very encouraging, and I love that we get to do this together. A couple things before we get started. We have Super Saturday on Saturday. What you can go do is type into Google Super Saturday Beachbody, and you can find a local event near you. Typically, there's a speaker, a corporate video that will talk about the next 3 months of what everything's going to look like. They're probably going to talk about new things that are coming out. And then there will be most likely a live workout that you can participate in. Great time to meet up with some Team Happy and Fit peeps. And it's a great time to get pictures as well. I highly recommend going. And the next one, I believe, is going to be in January. So it's quarterly, and it's going to be really awesome. Last night, we had a coach sneak peek, and that is in a Facebook group. We're going to do that once a month. And what my hope for that is that you help me with it. And I was even thinking a coach can do it next month, that they can share their story and that they can go live. But my hope is the team supporting that live video, tagging people who are checking it out, bringing the momentum and the energy, asking questions that people might have, but just using that as a resource. Because here's the deal. Sometimes it's not asking someone, but it's when they say they're in or want more information, that's where we freeze. So what we tend to do is word vomit because we're so excited. Or two, we literally don't know what to say. Simple is best. And so when you say, hey, I would love for you to do this with me, well, what in the heck are you doing? Hey, I'm going to tag you on a video that's going to give you just the right amount of information. And then you take them to that video, let that video give them the information. How about we lead with our invitations with just invitations without information? How about we just lead with emotion and why we thought of them and why we would love for them to do this with us? And then when they want more information, how about you outsource that? Unless you're feeling really confident with the delivery, by all means do it. But I think that utilizing these resources can really help you not feel so nervous about when they want more information, because that is the hardest part, in my opinion. It took me a lot of failures to get to a point where I'm really confident in the delivery, because I just didn't know what to say. And sometimes when we deliver too much information, we actually create more objections for people. We give them so much information, they didn't know that they needed to know that they're like less likely to do it, if that makes sense. Simplicity is best. What do? We work on ourselves and we help other people work on themselves. That simple. We cheer each other on. We're a phenomenal community, and that is what I love. I had said this in the Q&A yesterday. I had listened to Oprah's masterclass, and if there's anything I love about this journey, it's the mindset. It's what we do to work on ourselves. And I think the biggest muscle you need to work is between your ears. I think you tackling your mindset every single day, even if it's for 15 minutes, changes the way you feel and the way you think. And I don't know about you guys, you can get in the best shape of your life if you want, but that comparison thing gets us all, doesn't it? And that is why personal development is so vital. And can you guys answer this for me? Could you imagine if I never showed up? Like straight up. Like, would that be kind of weird? If I didn't show up in Happy and Fit, if I stopped jumping on calls, if I stopped showing up for myself, would you guys notice? Yeah, you would. And so can you just trust me that when I was showing up 5 years ago, no one else was? Can you trust that when I started to lead Zooms by myself, that no one would hop on? True story. I would always leave at the 10-minute mark. I'll give it 10 minutes. If anybody shows up, then I'll continue. If no one else shows up, we'll try again next week. That happened. Can you guys trust that I've been ghosted by more people than probably you? Can you guys trust I've had more people quit on me? And I get it. It hurts. It creates you to get paralyzed. You just want to get there quicker. But could you just take and breathe in for a second that maybe cutting corners isn't the way to do this thing? That maybe actually embracing the heartache that comes with this journey, or the setbacks or the obstacles, are the things that actually make you. So I was listening to Oprah's masterclass, and Steve Harvey freaking delivered it. It was so good. And he had talked about, if you have not listened to it, please go do the masterclass. It's different than Super Soul Sunday on podcast. The masterclass is just that person sharing their story. So one of my favorites was actually Shaquille O'Neal. I was really impressed by his, and I was kind of shocked that that was one of my favorites. Justin Timberlake talks about his. There's so many. Jane Fonda, like there's so many people who share their story to where they are now. And every common theme with everyone sharing their story was obstacle and setbacks and it being hard. None of it was like it was handed to me. None of it was everything was easy. None of it was like everyone believed in me and supported me and were in my corner. Actually, the commonality between all of them was that there was major setback. There was major belief that needed to happen. So Steve Harvey was sharing his story, and he had said this killed me because I can literally relate to this, is that, and this is why I wanted to become a teacher, that his elementary school teacher had them write down what they wanted to be when they grew up. And everyone was writing astronauts, lawyers, doctors, typical kid answers, right? And then he wrote, I want to be on TV. So as the kids were reading out what it is that they wanted to be when they grew up, as Steve's paper came to her attention, she actually called him up to the front of the class. And he was thinking, oh man, like this is special. Like she's so impressed. And he got up there and she completely shamed him, completely made fun of him. Who do you know in your life that's on TV? Why do you think that you would be someone that would get on TV? Completely degrading him, saying he's acting a fool, that he's a clown, called his mother and said he's acting out in class, he's being ridiculous. And then he goes home, his mom's about to give him a whooping. His dad comes home and he's like, wait, he wrote that he wanted to be on TV. What's wrong with that? You have to see that building this journey and this lifestyle doesn't make sense to a whole lot of people. But when you're hungry enough, you show up anyway. When you are hungry enough, you believe anyway. And so as that had happened, he lived in his car for 3 years. I'm fast forwarding a lot of his journey. He was homeless for 3 years. A guy calls him, he says, can you come do a comedy show? Maybe it was like, I don't know, a couple hours away the next day. And he was like, I'm there. You guys, he's broke and homeless. He goes to that comedy show, rocks it, gets $100. The guy said, I'm going to cancel the guy for tomorrow. Can you stay and do it again? He got $300. Now Steve Harvey is on TV every day of the week. And since then, he has sent that teacher many TVs. Literally, he has purchased TVs, sends them to her, and she's like, Steve, you need to stop sending me TVs. I have to start giving them away. He's like, I just want to make sure that you see me on TV. He said this. He said, failure teaches you so you know what to do. If it weren't for failure, you wouldn't know what to do. If it wasn't for failure, you wouldn't know hunger, right? And then he said, you learn from failing. Greatness is different from success. Success is everything, and I have to tell you this, I have never once celebrated elite. We're almost a 3-time elite team. We might have gone out to dinner once for it. I've been celebrated for it, but I personally have not celebrated it. Not because it doesn't matter. Actually, it matters a whole lot to me, knowing what that took, knowing the belief behind that. And I'm not saying you shouldn't celebrate. I think people are either reward-driven or fear-driven. I'm more of a fear-driven person. And so when I hit a goal, I'm like, next. That was just a checkpoint. I got to keep going because I feel like my success is made in the journey. It's never when I arrive or hit a goal or have done something incredible or whatever. It's always when I look back. I remember when we hit elite for the first year, my brother said, Julianne, when you're climbing this mountain, can you please take a look at the view? Because the view gets better every time you keep going. It's so much better from the top than it is from the bottom, but as you're going to wherever it is that your top would be, all of us have different tops, I guess, of the mountain, but can you just make sure you look and like you take that in and then you can keep going? And so what I mean by this is that my success is nothing compared to what my family means to me. That I don't lead with my paycheck in this business. I don't lead with my accolades in this business, and there are people that do. I don't lead with a six-pack. I don't lead with super toned muscles. I don't even necessarily lead with losing 35 pounds. I talk about that, but what I lead with is how I've changed and transformed as a person. What I do lead with is my belief in how what I'm doing is making a difference and is a solution to people. What I lead with is not quitting. And that kind of goes back to my thing. What if I didn't show up? What if I would have quit 4.5 years ago? What if I would have quit 3 years ago when I would miss a goal? When I didn't hit a goal, when I was about to be a 10 Success Club 10 legend or all-star, I can't remember now which one it was. I missed it. I think it was all-star, meaning you hit SC 10 12 months in a row. The 11th month, I ended with 9. I ended with 9, and the next day I was like, got to keep going. But what if I would have gotten so in my head about how much of a failure I am, or I'm not good at this, and I wouldn't have kept going? That was 2 years ago. Or what about the time our first year going for Elite, the day of Summit, I woke up and a friend and Diamond Coach quit on that day. And not only that, owed me about $400 to $500 for our house at Summit that never paid me for it. No one in that house knew that she owed me that money, and I didn't dwell on the fact that she owed me that money, and I had a choice to make. That was the year we were going Elite, and here I had this person that I had so much belief in, and it had transformed her life. She just had people around her that influenced her decisions and didn't like what she was doing. And she quit. So I could have either let that derail me, a diamond. Some of you guys get so bent out of shape for a discount person to quit. Like, this is someone I would invest so much time in, and maybe you are investing so much time in that, but like, I just need you to understand the energy that that took and the belief that that took, that, oh my gosh, like, this person's in it with me, like, we're gonna go, and then just is done. You better believe I showed up to Nashville that year ready to embrace and hug my team that was there. Not even a thought of energy was going to go to them from what had just happened. And that's resilience. Imagine if I would have showed up in a different way. No one would have known. So my point to you is this. I've had so many setbacks, times where I've been ghosted, times I've posted, no one has caught on to the mission and vision, because sometimes we just have to keep going and telling others, this is where I'm going. You're more than welcome to come with me. I'll always be there for you, but I cannot slow down. I can't. And not every pace is going to be the same. I get this a lot. Jillian, I can't match your pace, nor would I want you to. But at the same time, I don't want you to slow your pace because of the outside factors of others. There's a dance between that. So I think this all goes to show, what do you want? Truthfully, if there was a magic wand, and what would your life look like? What would it feel like? Who would be there? What experiences would you be having? What kind of stressful loads could you take off your chest? Or even better yet, I love to think about this, is life's good. I'm in a fairly good season right now, and if there's anything I know about life, it doesn't stay that way. Life ebbs and flows. Right now, it's good. We're in our journey to conceive and that and overcoming such heartbreak and loss. And it's taken time to heal. And I had to address triggers that were hard, and I didn't know that would be there. But man, it feels good right now. But who knows what's in store for me a couple months down the road. Maybe something completely devastating, maybe something completely wonderful, but maybe it's something anxious. I don't know. Maybe there's a loss. I'm not sure. But all I do know is that life can guarantee that it's not always going to be great, but I can also guarantee it's not always going to be hard, or it's not always meant to be hard. Life doesn't equal, when you're doing your work, to be stressful. And I always thought that that's what life was, that if you are working hard, you should be stressed. I read that in a book, and it made sense that when I was pouring myself out as a teacher and I was stressed and exhausted and overwhelmed, I'm doing my job, right? I'm doing my job. I have no time for self-care. That's okay. I'm serving these kids. I'm in this ministry. I'm working in the inner city, changing, transforming the mind. However, when I go home, I'm losing my mind. I can't sleep well, but you know what? I'm doing my job. Boy, was I wrong. Stress doesn't equal a great or well done job. But I think sometimes we're taught that, or that life doesn't always have to be hard. It doesn't always have to be hard. You don't always have to live paycheck to paycheck. You don't always have to live in constant stress of the next day. You don't have to worry all the time. I think that stuff will happen, but I don't think it has to equal you like living in your mission for it to be like that. So anyway, life's good, right? This is what I think about 10 years from now, 15 years from now, when my kids say, hey, Mom, I want to go to this dance camp or go do this, and it's the most expensive one. Sure. Absolutely. So that is how I keep my motivation when things are good. I think long term. I think, man, if my mom were to get sick or a family member were to get sick across the country, just even thinking about that makes my chest a little tight. Is like, that's what I think about when I show up every day in this business. Not for self-care. Self-care is for my sanity and my life so I can be the best wife, be the best future mom, be the best daughter, right? That is why I work up for self-care. But the reason I can maintain showing up for this business is because I don't think about my current circumstances. I don't think about how good it is right now, and I don't think about how hard it is right now. Believe me, I do actually think about those things, and I confide in friends. However, the thing that keeps me showing up is I just am like, I just got to thinking about that, because I would have never asked my family to go to an expensive camp because that wouldn't have been even on the table. We were bouncing checks like crazy. Cars were breaking down like nobody's business. Our fridge wasn't even full. That was my reality. And you better believe that is my motivation behind and I don't think it's things that make a family. But I also know what stresses out a family. I also know what it's like to not see your family. That's probably why I'm so independent, because I was by myself most of the time. And I'm the type of person, suck it up. And I was like, why am I so like that? Oh yeah, because when I was sick, I went to school. We didn't have extra childcare. My mom couldn't afford to skip work and do all that. So I just sucked it up and I just got it done. And I think that is part of my personality, and I'm not trying to project that's what you have to do to be successful. But remember, this isn't about success. This is about greatness. And what is greatness? Steve Harvey would say is my family and loving someone more than myself. And I can't help but think, if there's anything I want in this world, as much as I loved teaching, as much as I love this or that, I just want to love my family hard. And it's hard to be super present when you're family, when you're stressed and you're burdened in some kind of way. And if there's anything else I know, is there's not a guarantee to everything. Things might be good, right? Like I'm saying, finances might be fine. Have you ever thought to consider that maybe building up an extra fund, what that could do for your future? And that's what I think about. So Steve Harvey's mom says this: your wings are there, use them. Your wings work, use them. Go fly, do what you need to do. Life equals a beautiful grind. And it makes so much sense to me that I have to tell you this: reaching goals in Beachbody, reaching goals in life aren't always satisfying. The grind is. When you look back and know you didn't quit. When you look back and realize that you showed up when no one else did. When you look back and realize that people doubted you, but you just kept on going anyway. Or the times you didn't want to press play in the morning. Or the times that was so hard to get in your power hour. Or the times that you were wrestling through some scarcity thoughts or limiting beliefs that you didn't even know that you had, but you just chose to show up anyway. Or maybe you're pumped full of anxiety, but you're still working on your self-care. Maybe you experience loss and trauma, but you still connect to a community that breathes belief into you. When you think about that, who does that? Who does that when they're on their journey of life, that they're tuning into a community that literally shows them how they can work through it? They're allowed to feel pain. But man, if I'm feeling pain, I also want to know I'm working on myself, because when I get through that, I look back and became better, not worse. And that grind, man, that's what makes it worth it. Because I think of Steve Harvey, he's on TV every day of the week. He probably has more money than whatever, but why does he choose to work so hard? He has it all because he likes the grind. He likes the challenge. There are so many people here in Silicon Valley that make $250,000 a year that are massively unhappy. They're massively unhappy. So it doesn't equal income, but man, when you can turn your income into impact, when you know that you're working on yourself and helping others, and that part of it can like help your family too, is pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. Did any of that speak to any of you today? David, I love that. Total gut check. Thanks for sharing that. And this is why it's so important to jump on calls, because when we get into our own world, when we try to do this lonely island thing, because subconsciously when things aren't going well, we disengage. When we have frustrating and comparison happening in our hearts, we pull back. We guard ourselves. There's a defense mechanism happening, right? When we get so down on ourselves for not being on our journey so accurately, we start to get in our head thinking we're not enough. And what we tend to do is we pull away. And so what I challenge you to do is lean in. Speak your truth. Speak what's on your heart. Put it out there. Let it be known so it doesn't have power over you. Something Eric and I say frequently in our house. What do we say in our house, Eric? I can't even remember. He's laughing. I can hear him laughing upstairs.
What? Wait, what do you mean?
Is when you speak it, it loses its power. But what do we specifically say? When you
what do you say?
When you speak your sin, it loses power over you. Like when you acknowledge it is what I was trying to say. I had so much momentum there and just whoop, lost it. Okay, I'm going to mute you because there's a little bit of a delay. But when you speak that out, it loses the power that it has over you. When you speak that you've been comparing and you've been paralyzed, what I challenge you to do is answer these questions. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Continue to sulk in it, because that seems like a great idea. That seems like that's really going to serve you. That seems like that's really going to help you move forward. I'm being very sarcastic right now. What are you going to do about it? Connect with this crew again? Be a part of this journey again? Figure out a program again? Connect with someone else again? Like, what are you going to do about it? And then how are you going to grow through it? How are you going to grow through it? When you have a setback, when you get an injury, when you get a nasty message. Do any of you guys know Amy Rada? Amy Rada is a top 10 coach this year, and she just posted in the roundtable that there's a person trolling her like hardcore. Someone is being so mean to her. She's like, you guys, it's really messing with my heart. What did she do? She came to this group and she was talking about it, and but the thing is, she wasn't just complaining or dumping or, hey, feel sorry for me and creating this story. She was like, hey, this is what's going on. How can I work through this? Are there tools to block this person with my blog? Like, what, has anyone else been in this situation before? How did you move through it? How did you get through it? So she went to them. So that's what I encourage you to do is, what are you going to do about it, and how are you going to grow through it? Subconsciously, when things are hard, we back off. Why? Because we don't think we're enough. When things are going well, it's really easy to share our story. It's really easy to get our workouts in. It's really easy to do our personal development. But it's so crazy that when life hits, that is the time you should be investing more into the community, more into your self-care, and more into your mindset. So that is going to be a battle that you'll continue to fight, one that I have fought myself many times, but I have to acknowledge even though I don't feel like it, What is going to help me right now? What's going to help me move through this? By the way, this is none of the content I wanted to talk to you about tonight, so that's good. We're on a roll because we have 30 more minutes. Great. Anyway, I just had to speak from my heart on that one. So subconsciously we don't share, but can we also remind ourselves that people relate to real people? That you binge eating food, you getting off track with your workout, you feeling negative, you comparing, you actually connects you more to a tribe than being like, I'm freaking awesome, like nailing it, crushing it, like I'm getting results all the time. Man, that's really unrelatable. However, if you do have momentum, keep sharing that. But I don't know about you guys, but when my alarm goes off at 4:30 in the morning, ask Eric, I'm not always like, yes. Some days I am, and some days I'm not. But I have to tell you, when you can just share that, that's what makes this journey relatable. Coaching doesn't equal perfectionism. And that's why so many people say no to it. They have fear and doubt. One, that they can't do it. They won't do a great enough job. They won't relate to anybody. No one would want to follow them. Or they won't follow through. But they have it all wrong. In fact, our imperfections are the things that make us so real and connect to people. But that subconscious kicks right in. And what do? We back off. We move away. We stop. We get off track. We cancel our account. We're done. But how about you did the other thing and you just were transparent? I'm struggling. My anxiety is higher than ever. I'm really in my head. I'm going to work myself through it though. And that's the difference. The old you would just stay in the hole. The newer you is you're in the hole, but you see a ladder because a friend has put it there from Team Happy and Fit. And this journey has shown you one foot in front of the freaking other. And I'm going to get through this. I'm still struggling though. I'm still in this place that I'm not feeling my best. But thank goodness I have a tribe that surrounds themselves around me, breathing that belief into me to remind myself of who the F I am and whose I am, right? So as we do that, and also no one can do this for you, but we can be a force that reminds you of what you can do. No one can do this for you. I can mentor you, I can teach you, I can show you, I can model for you, I can lead you, I can do these calls, whatever, blah, 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 blah. You're the ones who choose to show up. You're the ones who choose to share your vulnerable story. You're the ones who press play. I don't make you do jack. You do that. And can you take some ownership in that? That in fact you do have the motivation and you in fact are just replacing your old habits with better ones? Can you just trust that this is a workout at a time? Can you just trust that it's one team call at a time, one PD at a time? Because none of us are made in one moment. We're made in accumulation of them. But wouldn't that be better done with a tribe of people who are just trying to do life in a better way? And it's crazy to me that people quit that because they forget that. Because why? Their subconscious kicks in. They go on a lonely island. This isn't for me. What? Being the healthiest and happiest version of yourself isn't for you? You're tripping. You're looking at this like a credit card charge. See ya. Right? I'm not trying to say see ya because that's what I think, but that's what it is. Don't blame this for not working because it works. Don't blame that this lifestyle isn't for you and that it doesn't, that's nope, that you, there needs to be ownership in that. Oh, I've tried Beachbody before, it doesn't work. No, girl, you didn't work. Oh, you know, I've done this, this, and this before. I'm not trying to be mean, I'm just trying to be honest. If there's anything I value in life, it's honesty and transparency. And that's what it is. These workouts don't work. Nope, they do when you follow them, start to finish. Someone asked me the other day, what was the first workout you did? And I'm like, the first workout I did or the first workout I completed? There's the difference. The first workout I did was the 21-day fix. Definitely wasn't the first program I completed. Who has completed the 21-day fix here? Yeah, you guys rock. Nope, didn't do it. So it wasn't until a year and a half later, 2 years, I'm not sure, it probably is really 2 years, when 22-minute hardcore came out, and that's the first program I started and finished. You guys, into coaching. I was a coach for 2.5 years. I wasn't trying to walk a perfectionist line. I was just trying to work on myself. I just was trying to show up and I wasn't trying to do it perfectly, right? And I'm transparent about that. So for those of you who are newer than I was, and you've completed a program, okay, I see you. It just took me a little bit to figure out, because what I would do is I picked the ones I liked and I would do the ones that I liked. And then when I actually did one start to finish, I was like, this actually works. Your whole body actually transforms. Who would have thought that? That's wild. That is so crazy, right? Yep. And guess what? Then when it took me 3 years to actually do a nutrition plan start to finish, it took my body to a whole new level. Like, so if you guys have completed a nutrition program, that took me 3 years as a coach. It did. I just was trying. And you know what? I committed. And when I committed, it gave me what? Confidence. I had more confidence in what I was doing because I actually did it. But nowhere near those years was I trying to be perfect. Nowhere in those years, I was just trying to show up. I was busy, overworked, and burnt out. I couldn't handle a lot on my plate. But I never blamed anything for not working. I always just looked at myself in the mirror and said, what can you do better? What can you do to learn from this? How can you grow from this? What are you going to do about it? Right? I'm not trying to have it all together, even as a leader. There are times where I think I'm a crappy leader. And then there's times where I get in my head. And then there are times where I'm like, man, it's so worth it. It is so worth this journey. It's so worth it. The ups and the downs. It's so worth it. Anyway, that was 100% from my heart. And so I'm going to get into the content and then we'll see where that ends us. But can anyone unmute and just share what spoke to you, what gut check you had, or what felt a relief to you, or what reminded you of something?
Hey, Julianne.
Hey, girl.
It's Kristen. So, I think you just instantly made me feel better about the fact that it took me so long to finish a program and get my nutrition under control, because I've almost been a coach for 2 years. And so I'm working on finishing program number 2 right now, but I always feel bad. I'm always like, I can't, I don't, and you and I have been talking a lot lately. So thank you.
Yeah.
Because I look at you and I'm like, oh my God, she just finishes all these programs. And yeah.
No, like real talk, like Eric doesn't even love working out with me anymore because I dance half the time. He's laughing because
right.
it's so true. Like, I'm fun, I think, and then he's like just trying to get to work. You guys see it, like, my Instagram is like half real. I'm just kidding. I'm actually working on it. But
he's a very serious workout person, though.
He's very dedicated.
Yeah.
I bring the fun. He said his life would be boring without me. I think it's true. Anyway, thanks for sharing that. And I think that's where your invite needs to change of, first of all, we have to acknowledge a couple of things. Is you're still here. We have to acknowledge, like, for me, before Beachbody, I would get a gym membership and go in the beginning of the year. I was that January 1st person, and then I would stop going. But this is the first time in, like, with 5 years of consistency that I've just showed up, even though it hasn't been perfect. But Kristen, I want you to think before Beachbody, what did your life look like? Like, for me, it was starting and stopping, not following through, yo-yo dieting, gym sometimes, and then I was committing to these payments that I wasn't doing, right? I had all the intentions in the world, or I'd be on the treadmill the entire time, completely insecure, no one look at me, no one noticed me. Heck no, I'm not using the weights because I have no idea what to do. And I think about now, like, how my confidence has grown with working out, and I love doing it from home. So I want you to think about this perfectionism line that we walk of, I'm not good at this because I can't finish a program, to, wait a second, what did my life look like before this? Was I even working out? Was that even something I would do on a busy day? What was my life like? And that's how you start sharing your story. Is I can get so hard on myself by struggling with this. However, I've come so far. And maybe some of you have gone backwards a little bit lately. Just course correct. because you're still here. We're not meant to get it perfect, you guys. And we try to walk this line of, I have it all together, but actually when you go beneath the surface, that creates trust with people. That creates so much trust with people. Where when I say like, it's a hard day, like I didn't feel like doing it today, that creates trust. It's hard for me to not have a sweet once a week or twice. It is. I love it. And I'm sure it's horrible for you. I know that. Stop telling me. I know, right? I talk about the real things, you guys. I'm not trying to be perfect, but that creating that trust is everything for people. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the content for today since we have 15 minutes. I can do it. I'm not worried. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. If you guys could take notes on this, that would be so awesome. So this business is very simple, and it amazes me on how simple it is. So with this whole coaching thing, literally, hold on one second. I can do this. There we go. Can you guys see this at all? I can't see you guys. Can you see it? You can see my screen? Okay, I just cannot see any of you. You can see what it says?
You can see everything it says.
Oh.
Yeah, you can see it.
Dang, I like looking at you guys so I can see. This is really weird. I'm just looking into a screen. Okay. Anyway, thank you, Kim, and thank you. I don't know who else that was, but I appreciate you and love you. Okay, the old vital behaviors. This business is super simple. It was be a product of the product, but it doesn't say be a perfect product of the product, okay? It's just be a product of the product. Let's not overcomplicate this. So for example, drink your shake and do your workout, right? And then the second vital behavior was invite, 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 which seems so intimidating, but it's not. Hey, I'm about to start this accountability group and I'm looking for an accountability partner. Would you want to do this with me? That's simple, right? Let's not overcomplicate it. Not like, hey, do you want to buy this from me? Hey, you want to be a Beachbody coach? No, that's too intimidating. But hey, you've got to check out my community. This community keeps me accountable. They keep me positive, and they keep helping me show up when it is really hard to show up, right? So you could do inviting through a post or a conversation or a private message. And then personal development, reading books like John Maxwell, The Power of Positive Leadership, right? With John Gordon. You can read, right now I'm reading Dare to Lead by Brene Brown. But now we've actually switched, and I touched a little bit on this last week, that there are new vital behaviors. Now, when you think vitals for my nurses and health professionals, vitals, right? Like that's important. It's the life-giving part of our body, right? That keeps us alive. I want you to think about the vital behaviors as keeping your business alive. Thinking about how you can thrive as a coach, as a person on this team, and as a person working on yourself. And this is how you can use them in your business. There's this quote, I am successful because I never once believed my dreams were someone else's to manage. I am successful because I never once believed my dreams were someone else's to manage. By Rachel Hollis. So these are the new vitals. Be a proof the product works. That's the one that we had before. 2, connect, invite, and follow up. And I believe connection I'll tell you a little bit more about what this actually means, but think about connection when you have a connection in a friendship or a connection with someone. It's a commonality, right? You are complimenting them on something, or there's something common that you have. And then you invite them, and then they're probably going to say no. They're probably going to say not yet. They're probably going to say yes and then not actually commit. And this is where it's key, is the follow up. So many of you, and I say this every week, told me no or not yet for a very long time. But I kept following up and following up and following up. 3rd, get people results. And then number 4, personal development. So be proof the product works, what this means. So the goal is to attain and sustain a healthy lifestyle for yourself that also inspires others, also relates to others. So for example, it can be complete a fitness program from start to finish. If you have not done that yet, that was a turning point for me. It gave me confidence. It changed and transformed my body. I felt so accomplished when I did it, right? And then using Beachbody nutrition solutions daily, whether it's Shakeology, maybe it's the beach bars, whatever it is, to be mindset. And then what you can do is you can share success with this lifestyle, showing how you've incorporated Beachbody products into it. Now, I need to tell you this, being a proof the product works, you getting results yourself, and it's not just physical, but mental and all these ways, right? Emotional, is that is the product. You are the product. You are using tools in your tool belt that you have, that you are keeping, and that other people can get, and you get to help them with these tools. Now, when you share your success or you share your daily moments with these products, these tools that you have in your tool belt, you're sharing it from your own experience. You are sharing it from your own way. You are sharing it from your perspective. You are sharing it through the hard, through the good. I know so many of you cried after 80-day obsession. That is a moment that is so beautiful that you earned, that is how you relate to other people. So share that success, and not even just the success, share the hard. Share that it's hard to not hit snooze. Share that you get your workout done during nap time. Share about how you are sleep deprived, but you're getting it done anyway. Share how you're showing up when you have such an insane schedule. Talk about how you used to go to gyms and you felt insecure, but you're feeling more confident at home. Talk about how your husband checks you out a lot more, and that's making you feel good about yourself, right? Talk about those things. The next one, connect, invite, and follow up. The goal is to help at least 3 new clients every month with a Beachbody solution. And now remember, we have the total solution. We have the total solution to fitness. We have the total solution to nutrition, not just with Shakeology, not just with 2B Mindset, with easy to follow meal guides that will transform the kitchens of the people that we know. Follow the Success Club system and the business activity tracker. And we have trackers in our team page, but there's also a new business activity tracker that's really easy and accessible to use. If you just type into Google Beachbody Business Activity Tracker, it's quite crazy. It will show up and you can take that. For me, I use the Diamond Daily and from our Files tab, and I just go through that every single day. In the Success Club system that they revamped has to do with that. Always have a new group or a group that you can invite someone to join. And I want you to think of it like this. For coaching, I don't invite to coaching. And with coaching, I don't invite to a business. With coaching, I invite to a community that is going to give the ultimate support to people, a community that is going to breathe so much belief into people, a community that is going to help people follow through and gain confidence. So I don't just invite to a business opportunity. That sounds so weird. I invite to an experience. I invite to follow through. I invite to ... And it's an emotional invite to why I do it. And then you can enroll at least 1 coach a month. I think the secret formula to this is helping 3 new people and helping 2 new coaches if you want to build a business. And I get it. It's hard. You're in your head. You missed a goal, or you have tried to go for this and it's too hard. It's not too hard. If you make it overly complicated, it will be, but it's really simple. And also, again, I just invite you to look, am I doing the right activities? Am I thinking of different solutions? Am I being resourceful? Am I being solution oriented? Or did I have a funk last month and maybe that has something to do with it? Or was I comparing and not putting blinders on, right? Am I trying to compete with someone else? That's not what this is about. For me, when I think about this, if I ever get frustrated, I'm too goal oriented. And I think there can be a thing. When I start to specifically think of people and what this can really do for them, I start to get super fired up and my conversation dramatically changes. And the way that I'm connecting and the way that I'm communicating, it's going deeper beyond a surface than surface level. So sometimes when we're sending out invites or we're doing whatever, we're not connecting in a true way, or we're not following up. When that person tells us no, we never talk to them again. There have been people who've told me no for years, and I would still follow up with them, but not bank on them in their own time, right? And then get people results. The goal is to fulfill the Beachbody mission for yourself and for customers while mentoring your coaches to do the same. So create results for yourself. Commit to being in business a year from now. And oh my gosh, you guys, if anyone can take any of this, I don't care if you're brand new today or you've been doing this for almost 5 years, can you please commit to being here next year? That is everything. Like, that was me. There was no other option. Slow and steady wins the race. Just don't quit. Don't guarantee your failure by quitting, right? Embrace this. You're going to learn so much. Develop a compelling vision and purpose, right? What is that vision? I just think about, can think about what I want my family to look like. I think of the moments I want to say yes to. I want to think about making college funds, if that's the choice my children want to go on, that we don't have to worry about that. I think about sending my mom on a surprise vacation. I just think about these things that I only know are possible with this opportunity. And the crazy thing is, there's no limit to it. It doesn't play favorites. That each and every single one of us, it's all a decision to say, why not me? My first summit, I sat in the seats and I go, if they can do that, I can do it. Why? They're telling me, they're showing me, they're helping me, they're breathing belief into me. Maybe the reason I'm not getting there is because I have a lack of belief that I can actually do it. It is all belief and then action. Find joy in coaching and have fun. Be proactive in finding solutions. Anytime I'm struggling with something, I create so many solutions. And finding joy, this is important. Anytime I'm frustrated with working, quote unquote, this business, I need to unplug and walk away. If I see my business not moving, maybe I've unplugged too much. So there's a dance to this thing. For me to feel inspired, I need to do something in life. This afternoon, Eric and I played bags in the garage. We just played. He totally beat me by a lot today. But we did that, right? It might be taking Wyatt to the park. It's me finding inspiration in life. It actually makes me more inspired in business because I don't want to just post about working out. I also want to post about life. Create results for your customers. Run effective groups that people enjoy. Provide great customer service. Recognize and celebrate them. Number 3, create results for your coaches. Help new coaches earn their first commission ASAP. Know your coaches' goals and support them. Train them and keep them accountable to the Success Club system. I think I'm not doing a good job as a leader for that. I think I've sugarcoated it. I think that if there's anything in life, being pushed is okay, and I need to be okay with that. When I'm in an Insanity Max 30 workout, I like being pushed. Pushed is good, and if we stop looking at pushed as bad, maybe something crazy would happen with all of us, right? Train them on how to run effective groups and duplicate. So real quick with personal development is to grow your potential, to increase confidence and improve skills. Do at least 20 minutes of personal development activity each workday and attend as many events as you can. Okay, we're going to do this real fast. I cannot see any of you right now, and that's totally okay. But on a sheet of paper, I know we're going over because I talk way too much, is this. Real fast, just do a yes or a no, okay? For number 1, are you being proof the products work? Are you doing the workouts and doing the shake? And have more of a gut check with yourself. Are you starting and finishing a program? My advice to you is do a 5-day, get a quick win, okay? Number 2, is your status active? Meaning you have Shakeology or you have the performance line, whatever it is in that way. Number 3, are you currently receiving a monthly subscription product? So for example, mine would be Shakeology. Number 4, Have you completed a program start to finish this year? Number 5, do you listen to the National Wake Up Call each week? Do you get on our team calls, live or recording? Yes or no? Number 7, are you registered for Summit? Not going to Summit, are you registered for Summit? Number 8, are you planning to attend the next Super Saturday? Number 9, can you verbalize why you want to blank? Why you want to make $1,000 a month? Why you want to lose 25 pounds? Whatever it is. Number 10, are you showing up daily on social media? Use social media as your accountability. Number 11, are you posting on purpose with strategy? So meaning, are you sharing coach invites in your posts? Are you talking about your challenge group? Are you doing that multiple times a week? Number 12, did you hit Success Club last month? Number 13, did you finish a personal development book or program last month? Number 14, did you successfully implement a tip, tool, or strategy from a recent training or call? And then number 15, are you actively engaged with everyone on your team? And for now, it can be happy and fit. So what I want you to do is score yourself real fast. If you got a 0 to 5, meaning yeses, right? If you got 0 to 5 yeses, walk your talk. You might want to build a business, but you aren't yet taking the action to follow up your vision. Number 6, become an MVP. What are 3 things you are doing really well? What is one area you can improve on? And make a plan to focus on filling the gaps. 11 to 15 yeses. Level up. Focus and complete new programs. Find an accountability buddy. And schedule all live events and put summit and retreats in your calendar. And find your posting schedule. You've got this. So in the comments, could you share before we get off? There we go. Hi, you guys. I couldn't see it. Where are you and what do you need to work on? Or what was eye-opening, I guess? MVP. Sweet. And then now you have an action plan. You guys have to celebrate what you're doing well and then think about where you can transform and change, right? MVP. Perfect. Need to work on inviting. Thank you. Level up. National Wake Up Call. Yes, you can go to the Beachbody 411 and check the recording. Consistency, National Wake Up Call. Oh, this is so good. You guys, 1 year out of coaching, I didn't listen to the National Wake Up Calls consistently, but my first few years of coaching, I never missed them. And it's the simple things we forget to do that actually create more momentum for us. It's the simple things. For me, I used to read PD, and there was a moment in year I only went to listening. But when I first started, I read. And then, so I changed that back. And then I always listened to the National Wake Up Call, and I went away from that. And so I course corrected and went back. And it has given me connection. It has given me momentum. It's given me ideas. But I had to admit where I was going short in order to implement to help me course correct, if that makes sense. Finish a program. Good. I think you guys all know where you need to get started.